There's some moments where we would be improvising and I was like, wow, that was mean.
Yeah,
It was
like,
mean because they have siblings too. And it was like, that was
right.
mean in a way where it's like, that's specific.
Hello, travelers, to another Geek Peek interview. I, as always, am Cody, and I'm here to introduce our very special guest and very special guest host. My partner Kalie very graciously accepted to fill in for Oren and myself to interview Izzy Roland. Long-term viewers will know how much we love Dropout here on the channel, but this time Izzy's here to talk about a personal project, her independent film, Dead. I will let them get into the discussion. Let's roll that interview.
Okay. Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you? Nice to meet you.
It is wonderful to meet you. So, I've been really excited to get a chance to talk to you. I've been following posts from you on social media about this movie for quite a while, and it's something that I've been personally really excited to see. And now getting a chance to talk to you about it is just the cherry on top. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
So I'll just jump right in. As someone who has had an estranged paternal relationship myself, and he actually passed away about a year ago, and I had to deal with a lot of like these both absurd and uncomfortable situations. There was so much in the movie that I related to so hard, and I really appreciated your irreverence on a topic that I felt needed some absurdity added to it, because it like there are so many situations that can be, I don't know, like when you're in it yourself, it can be very bizarre and hilarious. So could you tell me a little bit about, I know this is semi-autobiographical. Could you tell me like a little bit about that, please?
Well, thank you for all of those words. I really appreciate that. And I am sorry that you relate to it in that way.
Same.
It sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's based off of true events in my family. And it's based off of my family, and they play themselves for the most part.
Yeah.
Um, and it was exactly that. Like you nailed it. I wrote it from a place of experiencing this thing that is just sort of impossible. You have you sort of have no way to predict how you're going to feel when someone dies, especially someone
Yeah.
that close to you. Like you expect to be sad, but I really wasn't expecting how just sort of bizarre the entire experience was going to be.
Right. I love that. Like I relate, like the bizarreness of it. Yeah. And also one of the things that I noticed is like, so the difference in your relationship to the situation versus your sisters versus your mom's, I felt like you captured that in such a great way. And Vic was like such a great choice to play your sister. Um, how cool was it, and was it challenging at all to be working with your mom on this subject matter?
It was very challenging and very cool.
Yeah.
I am so inspired by my mom. Obviously, she's a writer. I became a writer, like, and she has been my mentor in that way for my whole life, but never, I always thought I was going to be just like an actress and like really wanted an Oscar and would like cry whenever they would accept the greatest actress award.
Yeah.
And that quickly sort of melted away when I became more sentient. But she was very supportive of just like everything I wanted to do, even though she was worried about me going into show business and being an
Yeah.
actor, specifically because she was a child star, and that
Yeah.
begot quite
All
a
of
bit.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a struggle for her. But she's an absolute badass and taught me everything I know, and
Yeah.
is beyond being an incredible, like turning herself into an amazing director is, I think, I'm biased, but like I also have a lot of experience. Like she is one of the best sitcom writers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I've had the privilege of like being in a lot of those spaces and reading a lot of scripts, and
Right.
uh
That's so cool. Well, so
she's
like you mentioned the
prolific.
scripting. One of the things that I've been super curious about, I've seen so much of your improv work. And again, huge fan of your improv work. I find you to be hilarious.
Thank you.
How much of the film was scripted versus did you do any improv? Like how much of it was some improv getting in there?
We It was a mix. It was like, we basically, I think, did it a pretty um pretty common way of like doing a few takes straight to the script and then riffing, and then like
Cool.
as you riff you go, it's almost like being in a writer's room where you go like, oh yeah, keep that, we're gonna
Yeah.
put that in, and then like combine that with this part of the line. So there was a lot of that.
Do you
um
have a specific moment that's one of your favorite unscripted moments?
um there's a part that my mom mentioned this in another interview, but so it's on my mind, but there's a part where um like right after it's been revealed that Daniel is in the mirror for Violet and Frankie, and the three of them are in the room together talking, and it's like Tilly's just arriving for
Yeah.
this like seance or whatever, and the 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 scene starts and Craig Bierko is going, it's like our town, if our town was a one-man show. And
Yeah.
I was like, that is so fun. And that was a cut or whatever. That was a take that wasn't initially used, but then
Okay.
when we were editing, we were like, let's see some of the other takes, and then we heard him say that, we were like, oh, that has to go,
Yeah.
that's so funny. And then there was another one where my mom and Craig are doing a scene together and it's just them, and she goes, I wish that demons would come and suck you away,
Right.
and then just sort of describes the career of the man from Scandal who's also in Ghost. He's like the
Yeah.
man with no eyebrows, the man whose father was a famous producer. Just like that is just, they are being so themselves in that moment,
Yeah.
and like since the characters are based on them, it's fine.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That like moment where your mom is describing, like, I wish that these demons would just suck you out of here. Like I was laughing hysterically.
It's
That's
really great.
it felt like so, I don't know, just relatable and raw.
Yeah.
So I was pleasantly surprised knowing, like, following you for quite a while. I was waiting for my first housewives moment where I got to see like a little housewives mention, and pleasantly, I didn't have to wait very long. I was like, haha, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's subtle in the beginning, but it's there. We had like an ADR from my mom in that, like, what is it, scene 3 or something, where they're watching TV together, and there was an ADR of my mom being like, now before we start this housewives reunion, I just wanted to say, and then we were like, this is so pipey, like let's just cut it and it'll be assumed. So I'm glad that you got it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, so I loved the use of the mirror as like this object that like Ghost Dad got to inhabit. Um, can you tell me a little bit about like what was your inspiration for using the mirror as like his communication device or what have you?
So that was completely my mom's idea. So like
Okay.
she is, she's, as I've said, like she's a successful showrunner. She's made many, many shows.
Mm.
And initially she had this idea for a show that would be essentially her character based off of her, her estranged ex-husband dies, and then she starts seeing him in the mirror. And in that, she was the only one who could see him, and the story sort of revolved around her. But
Yeah.
Once it was like, okay, I'm gonna write it and you're directing it, we had a lot of back and forth, and she was really able to like put on her director hat
Mm.
and go like, 'cause she's a huge sci-fi fan. She watches shows that I'm like, no one on earth watches this, and it's all she'll talk about.
I love it.
That's like the TV show of 12 Monkeys. Like if you start talking about that, she will never stop. And
I love a sci-fi girly. I'm here for it.
And so she was like, I was watching, whatever, The Expanse or some shit, or
Yeah.
whatever. And she was like, because we were going back and forth, we were like, the mirrors are going to be too hard. How do we do it? How do we make sure that we can do this as a practical effect and not have to be like, oh fuck, this doesn't work, now we have to change everything. So I even wrote versions of the script where Daniel is actually there.
Oh wow.
And then she was like watching one of her shows, and she was like, there was someone in, like, there are two shots of people talking to each other in a mirror, and I know that the camera is just placed in a way where you can't see it. And so she and her partner Jonathan, who's in the movie and is a director and writer as well, started to go around his house and do it with like a mannequin, like a sewing mannequin that my mom has. And she was like, it can work. And we were just like, this is a really special way to do this, and it's also like a trip, like is a testament to like this full DIY and using like practical movie magic and stuff, which like it's not like too magical. You're sort of like, oh, I get how they did it. But there are moments that I was like really proud of, where I was like, oh, look, we did it. Where like there's like when my mom first sees Craig in the mirror, he turns around and he's not there. He's just running back and forth.
No way.
Fuck, gotta do it again. He touched the curtain's moving. Like and they just really, they went for it. It was awesome.
I love a good practical effect. And
I love it. There's nothing better. It's like Guillermo del Toro knows what the fuck he's talking about.
It's true. It's facts. So one of the things that I thought was pretty great was the way you incorporated like the sister, like your relationship to your sister in this, and how very different you each approached like your father and like the topic. How much was like Vic's character like written, and how much of that was a creation of Vic? Someone that knows a lot of Vic's work, it like Vic did an incredible job. Like how much of that was a Vic creation?
It was a bit of both. I think it was like they were able to slide into that character very easily, which is why I knew that they were going to be really good. They're good at playing like a sort of uppity person, which like,
they really are
not who my sister actually is. My sister is wonderful and kind and my best friend in the entire world and my hero. And
I love it.
But sister relationships are difficult. I'm always referencing Fleabag, like was a huge inspiration for this movie, and that sister relationship in that particularly. But so it was a very comfortable place for them to play in, and and we were able to really play up, like there's some moments where we would be improvising and I was like, wow, that was mean.
Like
because they have siblings too, and it was like that was mean in a way where it's like that's specific.
You guys did a great job of capturing that really specific sibling situation in these uncomfortable times.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time, and I really appreciate it. Again, I I was so excited, and I could not have been more satisfied with the result. Like, you did such a great job, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Kalie. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see what you do in the future. I will be following, and I'll be consuming any little bit of media that you put out in the future. I can't wait.
Thank you. It was so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you so much for joining us for that, and you can check out deadthefilm.com to look for screenings in your area. Make sure to like and subscribe for more interviews and videos just like this, and we'll see you at the tabletop.